Okay, there we go. Now we're on to our official first session for the Sword of the Crown and the Unspeakable Power. Welcome everyone in chat or watching this show on YouTube.
Hi to Nithbin, our sweet, delicate child who is not here right now. All
Who will
right,
be someday leading a cult, we think.
probably. I share no secrets.
Yes.
We got our GM
Anyway.
here, Raph of the Green Gables, and our players, myself, Ian Kid, Dream, and Bubba 145.
Alrighty. Also, my dog. His name is Rex. He is beautiful. All right, so what you guys need to know for starting with characters is that each of you is going to tie your character to one of the others in some way, shape, or form. Now, let me see exactly how we're going to do this by pulling up the manual, because I'm a sad, sad human being that must respond back to everything I'm looking at. Why is this zoomed in so much? All right, so actually, before we begin, we're going to talk about safety in describing things. So I'm just going to read straight from the book. One final note, this is a vicious, violent game. It is very easy to go in dark, nasty directions at the table. If this is what you're looking for, we encourage you to explore this, but you should first take the safety of all the players at the table into consideration. As such, we strongly suggest you read an appendix on a page that you guys don't have access to before you play. We want everyone playing the game to feel safe and have fun, even as their character gets their hands bloody. Now, one thing that I would absolutely not allow you guys to do in this game, no on-screen sex. Just, there can be a door closing and a fade to black, but no on-screen sex. Keeping it away from an X rating. We are also not going to partake in graphic violence towards children.
Why would anyone even do that?
It's happened before.
Oh, jeez. Please, do not.
Yeah. If you're gonna be like, I'm just gonna hurt this kid, you can do that, but do not explain how or in what way.
No me gusta.
Also, sexual violence, I don't want to hear about. I don't care if it would be within your character, but personally, that is a massive trigger for me. And if anybody is just going to be like, I want to assault this person in this way, I will heavily jump in as an MC and do some major fuckery, because that's just not cool. And as your MC, I'm not here for that. So keep those things in mind. Just don't be a dick, and we should be fine.
That's good rules.
Yeah. So, let me double check here. And I'm sorry for anybody listening. Like, this is my first time DMing something exactly like this. I've DM'd for a lot of other systems, but this is a first for the Sword of the Crown and the Unspeakable Power for me. So we're all kind of learning together.
Yeah, and this is my first time playing this at all. So I know next to nothing, so I'm gonna be really on the baby side of this.
All right. So, first things first, I have to give each of you your entanglement for the session. So an entanglement is going to get you an advancement point if you finish it. I'm going to kind of randomize the way this happens, and we will start with the adept class, who is played by Ian. So let's see. All right, so Ian, you have to sell your arcane power for a price to someone rich or important in order to earn an advancement point in this session. Next up, we are moving on to Dream. And Dream is playing the Black Hood and must steal something valuable or important from someone powerful.
Okay.
And then Bubba, who is playing a Bloodletter, must heal someone powerful or important for a price. And basically, you can do this anytime during the session that it presents itself. And every 5 advancement points will get you another perk from your perk trees. So for anybody watching, it's kind of like leveling up a skill in Skyrim, if that makes sense. All right, next up, everyone's going to introduce their characters. So I want everyone to talk about who their characters are, what they do, as in what's their class, the reputation around the city, whether they're known, not known, and actually, Ian, can we turn down the music just a little bit? I'm having a bit of trouble
Yeah, I can do that.
focusing on what I'm reading. Thank you. I also would like each player to choose one other player and tell them how you two would be attached together. So, an example, since Ian is playing an adept, adepts may have been known for using their magic. Since Bubba is playing a Bloodletter, maybe he helped heal somebody at some point. And since Dream is playing a Black Hood, maybe he got hired to do some shady shit. Who knows? All right, so we are gonna start by alphabetical order. So Bubba, you are up first.
I am Johan Red. I work for the Adventurers Guild as the local medic. I have a large... crud, English word. I have a large infirmary at the guild hall at which I reside. I am known throughout the town as the local madman, but also the man who heals. Anything else?
Could you
Or
type that
I
out
gotta pick a
so that I
character.
can add it into my notes, and also for the stream?
Can you say that again? I can't hear you. You are quiet, Ian.
Could you type out your name in the chat?
Oh, okay. Yeah. There you go. And I gotta pick one of you to be relationship, right?
Exactly.
Huh.
I would suggest flipping a coin or rolling a die to kind of help with that situation. If you're having trouble.
Yeah.
And just you can give a very thin explanation as to how, you know.
Okay. Alright. I know Dream's
Character. We'll just say that for now.
Yeah, I know Dream's character. I have in the past healed one of his targets who slipped too far beyond what he could heal in order for him to continue to interrogate him. Is that good enough?
You went overboard, Dream?
I'm more of an assassin than a interrogator.
Wrong.
Well, it could work. Maybe you need information about your target. And you're an assassin. You don't interrogate well.
Okay. On my end, I was getting two of the characters confused, so I can redo that if you want, Dream.
Yeah, torture's not really something my character does.
Okay, how about this?
Could be.
I have in the past sold you various poisons and other materials to do your assassinating.
Sure, that works.
All right. Now it's Dream's turn to describe his character.
Right, characters Lothram the Black Hood. In this, he's a man, quite weather-beaten, tan face, quite blithe, dark eyes, kind of, sort of wears kind of the sort of standard attire one might describe to a roguish individual who sort of makes a living, in the shadows. He sort of generally known more by reputation than in the street. Basically, people know that if you want something shady done, Lothram's the man to ask after if you want the best. And yeah, and then shall we say for there was one of the ideas in this I quite liked. Entanglement. No, that's not the right thing. Where was this?
What page is those examples on?
Those examples are on your character sheet under relationships.
Ah.
Here we go. Yeah, and let's see, for Ian's character, I don't think I got the name of it yet. I think I have done something awful for you, if that works.
So I'll definitely say I won't be proud of it.
Well, you don't have to be proud of it. So,
You just would have had to have the capability of hiring him out to do something.
Yeah.
All right.
obviously, we don't have to hash out what that is just now. It's just that that's a thing that's happened.
Yep. All right, and Dream, if you could put your character's name in the chat, please. I apologize for any eating noises on my end. It's some really good dairy-free ice cream, and I'm very happy with life right now. All right. Next up is Ian's character.
All right. I am Perrin Altor, an adept from a modestly well-known family who have for a long time had a line in the Adepts Guild, and I look like, we'll say early 30s, blonde beard, and slightly scraggly hair. I'm not next in line for my family. I'm actually the fourth child among my family. It is well known that the next head of my family is likely going to be one of my two twin brothers. One of my my elder brothers who are twins. Frisk and Cursed. Oh, not Frisk. What did I name them?
You named them.
Cursed and Frank.
Cursed
Frank
and Frank.
Yeah, Cursed and Frank. And just to make this relationship full circle, I'm gonna go ahead and say that I know Johan through work. Actually, there's been since he's in connection to the Explorers Guild. We used to work on some studies together in the powers that remain out in the outside world.
All right. So with that in mind, we have our 3 characters, and Ian, if you could put your character's name in the chat, please.
Yep.
So we have Johann the Red, a bloodletter, who may or may not be the creepy guy around town. Lothram, a black hood, who is known quite well as the assassin for hire or the down and dirty guy if you gotta get shit done. And then we have Perrin Altor, the adept from a somewhat cushy lifestyle, who is just really fucking talented with magic. So, moving on, we are in the city-state of Tursk. It's a coastal region with humid weather year-round that specializes in seaborne trade, as well as seafood, as well as fine gold and silverware, whether that be jewelry or small statues or idols. It also has a major export of pearls. And if you listen to our last session, there are elements, natural elements at play here. For the city of Tursk, that it has an emphasis on the elements of water and air, and their obelisk controls storms and other weather patterns around the coast in which the city sits. Tursk is also a major trade port. It is the major trade port, actually. With the other 2 city-states in the region sending their boats through Tursk's waters, Tursk has quite a bit of control over trade and over who gets what and when and where. Just keep that in mind. Currently, the city is having a small problem. And by small, I mean a plague.
Before we continue, do we want to get the highlight stats out of the way too?
Oh yeah, crap! Thank you for reminding me about those.
So what it is each player has a player on their left and right, or well, in this case, just the other 2 players. Pick a stat for the first player. They each pick a stat that when the first player manages to use in the session, they get an advancement point. So, Dream, what's a stat that I have to use to get an advancement point?
Again, the stats in this section are steady, fierce, wily, sly, and arcane.
To be cruel or to be kind. Let's just say arcane. Let's be nice for the first session.
Okay, Bubba, you too?
Wily.
Okay, and I'll say mine for Dream is gonna be sly.
Bubba, what would yours for Dream be?
For Dream? Steady.
Okay.
All right, and Ian, what would yours be for Bubba?
I'm gonna make this interesting and say fierce.
Okay. And Dream, what would yours be for Bubba?
Wily?
Okay. So I'm going to trust you guys to keep track of that because I have so much crap going on in my little screen.
Yep, that's perfectly fine.
Yep. The joy of being it's not DM for this, it's MC, which stands for Master of Ceremonies. I feel somewhat pomp and circumstance, but okay. All right.
I got a bugle if you want me to play something.
No, thank you. So, right now, the city of Tursk is starting to deal with the plague. It's been going on for a few weeks, but up until recently, it's been pretty much contained to the lower regions of the city. The city is laid out in a very circular pattern, with the outer circles being the most poor and the inner circles being the most wealthy. Until recently, only 1 or 2 of the outer circles have really had to deal with this sickness. But for some reason, there's a few people within the inner city that are starting to show signs of this illness and have been quarantined. Now I'm going to tell each of you how you tie in. Johan, you being one of the medics, you've dealt with some of it in the lower city, and you may or may not be getting called into the upper city sometime soon in order to help treat a patient there. Next up, Perrin, one of your siblings has actually come down with the sickness. It's neither of the twins. I can't remember what name the other
Fina?
sibling had.
Fina?
Fina. Fina is sick.
My sister!
Very badly so. And you are looking for a medic to help with the situation. And here's where it gets interesting. Lothram, you've been hired by a person known as the Crone to seek out the origin of this sickness. And the Crone has told you that she suspects it to be some sort of curse placed upon the city. As the day starts out, Johan is heading up towards the center of the city to see if there's any work there for him that day. Perrin is getting ready to set out to look for a healer. And Lothram, you've started poking around the upper city to see who exactly has been affected.
Okay.
And basically, you all have started to congregate inside of the main square outside of the city's palace where the crown resides. Begin.
Well, the thing is, I think I would just, with one of my abilities, I would just prove myself to the Explorers Guild to meet the,
No, because I would be already on the way to...
I guess, would I have contacted you?
You could have. We could say that you two had been in contact.
Okay. So I'm going, I'm already going to meet you. I'm already going to meet you in the square.
Okay. So I have arrived at the square and I'm waiting for Perrin to arrive and either help his sister as best I can or help her along because she is too far gone.
You just see me slightly clumsily barrel through the streets as I'm trying to find you, and looking for you. I spot you out. I never wrote you down in my list. Johan, thank goodness. Thank you for coming.
As this is happening, Dream, I would like you to roll for study a situation.
I think that's up to his. I think that's his choice, but okay.
I'm gonna kind of push it along so we can connect the three of you right now.
Yeah. How are we handling dice rolls?
So it would be a D12. You can use. All you've got to do is just tell me what you end up rolling. It's going to be your roll plus your sly.
Is it not 2d6?
It can be 2d6, but a d12 is faster. Either whichever works for you is fine.
Those 2 seconds, I'll grab my dice.
Yeah, and study situation. On a 10 plus, he can ask 3 questions. On 7 to 9, he can ask 2.
Mm-hmm. And a 6 or below, you fail.
Yep.
Ooh. He doesn't even know we're here.
And as mentioned before, an MC asking somebody to make a specific roll isn't exactly normal, but because I want to nudge the 3 of these guys together, I am going to start calling 1 or 2 shots to kind of push them in the same direction.
Okay, got an 8.
Got an 8. Okay, so you get to ask 2 of the questions under study a situation.
Where was the cheat sheet? I think someone linked it.
That's in
I
the
have the
stuff
link
sheets
if you need
PDF.
Here, I'll pass along
Thank
the
you.
cheat.
Yep, page 23.
Well, the thing is, you're not required to ask. Well, one of these questions in particular, but they're
But it's useful.
they're examples.
So, probably some of us, who or what here could be a useful opportunity for me.
You do notice Perrin and Johann meeting. Johann is in his bloodletter regalia. It's basically the uniform with the toolkit that's very common, and Perrin looks a little panicked, like he's trying to get Johann to hurry up and come along.
Okay, and what am I missing?
Because it's early in the morning, most people aren't out. And the fact that a bloodletter and what looks to be a person of noble birth are meeting this early in the morning means that whatever they're meeting about is very urgent. And knowing what you know about this plague, you can assume that they're heading on their way to a person who has come down with this sickness.
Okay.
Rather than like a random baby being born shit. But yeah.
Well, I am aiming to learn more about this sickness, so I could probably do worse than following a blood letter. So I'll probably just quietly try and shadow them.
All right. You guys may continue.
It's this way. It's this way, Johann. I'm glad to see you again. It's been a while.
Why, yes, it has, Perrin. But to be fair, it could have been under better circumstances.
Indeed. This sickness, it seems to be spreading everywhere. I thought it was contained in the lower districts.
It is hard to say. Could be something in the air. Okay, I went French there. I was trying to do German and I went French.
What do you mean I cannot speak this way?
Ein, try. Oh, okay, I think I went better into German. Okay. Well, it's hard to say. It could be something in the air. It could even be an animal. Okay, I keep slipping into French. Why am I slipping into French?
Yeah, you hadn't gone all the way to French yet. You're good.
Yeah.
But I'm like feeling it.
Just go where the brain says.
I
Just
know.
do it.
Okay. I know, but okay. It could even be an animal, but that's hard to say. There are too many questions. We are still yet to find the first sick person. Too many questions. Not enough numbers, not enough time, not enough bodies.
And
I need more. I need more.
As this exchange is occurring, you guys are getting closer and closer to Perrin's house. Perrin leads you inside to his sister's room. As the two of you come in, you notice that. Can you remind me of her name again, please?
Fina?
Fina. Fina is drenched in sweat. She has telltale bruises popping up all over her body, and she seems to be in a fever dream with the house's maids holding her and trying to keep her cool until Johann gets there. Dream, you can try to enter or you can try to look from outside. Which would you prefer?
So I just double checking how one of my moves works. Alright, I'm going to try using my like a shadow in the darkness to basically sneak in. that I can do. So, roll plus steady. That's wow. Okay. That's a 13 on
Oh,
that.
damn. That is
So-
Credit.
yeah.
Credit.
Yeah. So I'll select those looking for me are distracted by something else that's equally pressing, and
Oh, that's easy enough to explain.
yeah,
Shiny.
and I stumble across something interesting or important as I hide or escape.
Okay, so I'm gonna go in. I'm actually gonna make a new chat for this. Actually, no, I'm just gonna DM you, Dream. How's that sound?
Sure, that's fine.
All right. Okay. So you also make it inside and make it to Fina's room. And here in the shadowy corners, you can see Fina being miserable in bed.
Okay.
Wow, what a ghost.
Okay. I want to try to diagnose her.
Okay. Which skill would you be using for that?
It is just diagnose.
Okay. Go on
Do
ahead
you
and
want me to
roll.
read it out what it says to do?
Nope, I have it right in front of me, so you go on ahead and
As long as
roll
you know
for
what it does.
Okay.
That's
It's D12 plus 2. I got a 4.
total.
Oh boy.
Yes.
Keep in mind that whenever you guys use a specific task, if that is highlighted for the session, you do gain an advancement point. So make sure you are marking that down.
Oh, I did not note it down, but I did do a thing.
Well, I haven't healed him. I'm trying to figure out what's wrong with him.
Oh, is it the first time you use either skill or the first time
Each.
you use each skill? So
Each.
okay, so you gain 2 advancement points. Cool.
Oh, I got a 4. Oh, jeez. Well, I guess that makes sense story-wise. I mean, this is still something we haven't figured out yet.
So this isn't something you've really seen before. You can tell kind of what the symptoms are for her, but you're not entirely sure how they interconnect. And again, you notice that she has bruising all over her body, that she's sweating quite a bit, and that she's unconscious and in a fever dream.
Hmm.
So probably at this point, I'm going to sort of move up behind Ian's character. Sorry, I didn't catch your name. Should have
Aaron.
had it. Should have got it.
Aaron.
Farron. Sorry.
Perrin.
Perrin. I can speak. Perrin, and basically say to him, maybe someone should check those markings on the door.
What?
Like literally right behind you.
So
I just
like
whip-
a creeper creeps.
I just whip around.
Okay,
Lothrin? What?
okay. I whip around and pull out the knife like, Caesar!
What? I didn't call for you. What are you doing here?
I've been contracted to look into this particular sickness. Anyway, maybe you should take heed of my suggestion.
But why would you want... You know, never mind. You in it for some money. It doesn't matter to me. You said something about markings on the door?
I'll point them towards the marks.
All right, and for the first time, you start to notice very faint runes etched on the threshold of the home.
Oof. I have the feeling that Perrin, you might be better at this than I. These appear to be arcane. Maybe? I'm not sure yet.
Yes. Um. Can I can do whisper in the unspeakable power, but can I use harness the unspeakable power to actually see the person who carved these?
Let me read it really quickly and think. So, for the sake of those listening in, harness the unspeakable power is a move unique to the adept. And its description is such: you are a magic user and have an ability to tap into the unspeakable power in a way that normal people cannot. When you try to harness the unspeakable power to achieve an aim, roll plus arcane on a hit, you may change the world in some minor but tangible way. On a 79, the MC will also hold 1 and may spend it on one of the following. And it gives a few extra things here.
Things the minor ways the GM could fuck with me.
Basically. I'm gonna say because it says it's a minor way, you can't see who marked it, but you might be able to ascertain exactly what those runes are for and what they do.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and do that.
All right.
7 plus 3, that's 10.
10. Okay, so I don't get a fuck with you this time. But as you delve into the unspeakable power, you feel that usual rush of elemental energy fill your body. And it clouds over your vision just a bit. And as you look at these runes on the door, you can see that they're very heavily linked to earth and to fire in some odd way. And that they are meant to cause a certain ailment to a specific person within the house. And as you look, you can find a few of the bits of the runes that speak about your sister. So whoever put those up there was meaning to directly afflict your sister with something. You're just not sure what.
Hold on. Hold on. I might have actually written my score down wrong, and I don't know how I did that. Yeah, my arcane's actually 2. Why did I write down 3? So
you got a 9?
Yeah. So you can't fuck with me.
All right. As you're looking, you feel a little tug at the back of your mind and a voice that whispers, "Hello, I know you. And I want you to talk to me." And you feel a sudden urge to go to the obelisk and speak with the power.
Can I roll study a situation to try to look at the runes as we see them to try to see if I can figure out how they were carved or made?
How they were carved or made? Yeah, sure.
Okay, so that would be roll plus sly. I'm trying to get some more info.
Is that a general move or a bloodletter move?
It's under just basic moves, quick reference.
Okay.
Bugger! I got a 3. God damn it, my luck. Shit. I have no idea what the hell they are. I'm just like,
So you failed it?
I got a 1 plus my 2, so I crit failed epically.
Yeah. So you're looking and you're just still astounded as to what the fuck, how did this guy get in here? How did he know about this shit? What the hell's going on? I still don't know what the fuck's wrong with the patient. You have this kind of mental going through, and along with the madness that you're used to dealing with, your brain's really addled right now.
Alright. So I'm gonna...
I have no idea what they say. What do they say?
So after studying the ruins, I'm just gonna stand up and contemplate for a little bit, and I'm sorry, but I have to go investigate something. And I leave the house and start making my way to the guild where the obelisk is held.
All right.
Like,
Does anybody else want to follow, or?
Like, I'm trying to think of what moves I could do. Like, I can't Well, I don't know if I can roll diagnose again, or do something to try to get a better diagnosis.
You could try and examine her through study a person, and then
Okay.
maybe gain a diagnosis depending on that roll.
Uh, it's fly accuracy. Okay, I'm gonna try just to see if I can see something that I may have missed. But if I
Okay.
roll bad again, I'm going to be so upset.
All right.
Woo! I got a 10.
All right, Dream. What were you trying to do?
Sorry. He's making a roll. I missed that.
Okay. So you get to ask 3 questions about the person right now.
Okay. Alright. What does your character wish I would do? Like, is she wishing or wanting something?
Okay.
Feel better?
Well, in this, she's unconscious.
I don't, like, I'm...
You can.
It does.
The questions there are kind of a template, but you can ask other things.
Okay. How big are the bruises on her body? Are they forming... Okay, I guess I would have to split it up. How big are the bruises on the body currently?
They are. They're fairly large. If you've ever seen a picture of someone who's been snake that caused hemorrhaging, it looks like the beginnings of that.
You broke up really bad. I couldn't tell at all what you were trying to say.
Sorry. Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
So the bruises are fairly large. I don't know if you've ever seen pictures of a person who's been bitten by a snake. Post venom really infecting, but once that venom starts causing the internal hemorrhaging, they have very large bruises all over the place. It looks like a very slow beginning of that.
Okay. Do the bruises appear to be forming any kind of shape, or are they just general circles and blotches?
They're just general circles and blotches, but as you look, you start to notice that they begin at the extremities and are slowly making their way towards the center of the body. They haven't made it there yet. And from your past experience with this, you know that once they make it all the way to the core of her, that she'll probably be dead.
Okay. I got one more question. I'm trying to think. Something I could potentially... Do I see any open wounds on her body? Something I could potentially look at her blood to see if something's wrong with the blood itself, like it's off-colored or really thin.
Because you rolled so high. As you're looking, you do start to notice, you're kind of rifling around, you're gently lifting, kind of look at her. You turn her head and something on her neck catches your eye. And as you turn it in, you see what looks like a vein that's gone black there. And it makes a little shape into one of the runes that you saw on the door. What you do know, though, is that this happened separate from all of the bruises. There's not necessarily any open wounds on her, but this does look like an outside wound that's still somehow fresh, like a festering sore.
Okay. Can I roll again for diagnose with that new information?
Yes, you can.
Okay, so same. I got a 5. Come on!
I'm gonna give you an advantage on that because you just did the whole section there. So go on ahead and roll again.
This is a GM only rule.
Yeah.
Okay, I got an 11 this time.
All right. This is because God said so.
Yes, God said so.
All right. So as you look, you think back to your time venturing out with the guild and about different hexes that you ran out to somewhere in the wilds and about how their magic really worked. And this really does remind you of some kind of curse that you've seen before that was very similar but had different effects. You know that curse was inflicted by a person who had come into physical contact with the victim.
Okay. So from here, I can do a chain of logic with the people around her. But I think I would need to talk to her brother first to see if he's seen anyone come into contact that isn't normal, like the maids, etc.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So from here, I would say we should go speak to him. He might know something. I think I found a clue, but I need more information to be sure. It reminds me of something I've seen. It's been many years.
Information from who?
The brother Perrin. He might know if she's seen or been with someone who might have touched her. The neck is very different to touch than, say, the arm or a leg. The neck indicates someone close, so he might know who could have done so. Do you not agree, or do you believe I am barking up the wrong tree?
I'll take the expert's opinion on this. Well, if there's strange magic nonsense going on, I imagine Perrin's the one to talk to.
She might be the one who breaks the curse better than I. I am not a magician or a wizard, so I maybe know what it is, but I may not be able to break it. So, shall we go forth, my strange companion?
Yeah, let's go. Should be able to pick up his trail.
All right. And you guys basically had a good idea where he was going, just from the runes and stuff, so you can assume that he'd be going to the guild. So we're gonna cut back to Perrin, who has split the party.
No.
Hey, that's the state of this game from the way I read the rules.
It is. It's a very split the party game. It's very combat low and very narrative heavy. So, guys, be ready for me to keep track of everyone. Yeah. So, Perrin, as you reach the guild, you make your way into the inner sanctum where many of the adepts are. You know at this time of day that there are a few adepts just kind of milling about the obelisk. And they're very used to seeing others of the guild come in and supplicate themselves before the obelisk in some form of contemplation, not necessarily worship. Also, hello to whoever's cat is meowing in the background. I love them.
It's mine, but I can't deal with it right now. I think it wants out.
All right. So, Perrin, what are you doing?
I'm gonna go ahead and make my way to the obelisk and sit there in contemplation and awaiting a response.
You sit there for a few minutes and you start to feel a little antsy. You're not entirely sure why you had to come, but you know you have to be right there. And then all of a sudden, the candles around flare and die back down. And you feel a gust of wind circle around the area. Inside of that gust, you hear different whispers, and they're very strange. You're not entirely sure of what they're saying. I want you to mark down a slight Add a +1 to Arcane for the rest of the session.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay then.
As you're there and going through this, and you feel your connection with the power strengthen, Johann and excuse me, Johann and Lothram, you get to the gates and you can get into what's basically the general lobby of the guild. But because you two aren't adepts and you aren't members of the priesthood or the monkhood, you're asked to wait there while someone goes and fetches Perrin. And Perrin, as you kind of come out of your repose, you feel a tap on your shoulder, and one of the younger adepts mentions that there are people waiting for you in the lobby.
Oh, I'll be right there. And I take a quick moment, just kind of scan around the room, and then I leave.
All right.
Johann, did you figure out anything?
Well, I might have found a clue. I found what appeared to be a rune symbol on her neck. Now, to do this, someone had to be in contact with her and touch that part of her neck. Did she have a... what is the word? A liaison with anyone that you know of? A romantic interest.
Perrin, you would know that she hadn't really been courting anybody, but she had mentioned making a few new friends in the market. She didn't really talk much about them to you because this was kind of dinner table conversation, like a passing, how was your day, kids? But you do know that she's met someone new that she's been spending some time with.
I knew of someone, but she only mentioned it in passing, and I wish I had asked some more. And is she in this? She's completely unresponsive at this point, isn't she?
She's unconscious, but you'd also know that because she's the only daughter of the family, she goes everywhere, made as a chaperone.
Okay.
Hmm.
We
So
could
someone
ask.
would not have touched her.
We could.
And this is out of character, so
We could ask.
someone would not have
Sorry.
been able to do that. Okay.
Okay. We could ask the servants would know something. They have to keep some of them have to keep an eye on her, make sure nothing befalls her.
And how long has this servant been with the family?
Servants.
The one in question would have been your nanny as a child.
The
So
one
she's been around a while.
Yeah,
and her name, for the record, is Gerta.
Yeah. Gerta, she's been with us forever. She's not the one.
Has she been acting strangely lately? Anything at all?
No, she's. I don't believe that she's responsible at all. But she would definitely know if there was anyone new in Fina's life.
All right, then we need to go speak to her as quickly as we can. We may not have much time, especially if the disease continues to spread at the pace it is. She may pass within the next few days, and time could be critical before it reaches the point of no return.
Alright, we must hurry then. And I begin a steady pace, a steady pace towards the estate.
All right. To catch Dream up, because Dream had to duck out for a hot sec. Oh Jesus! Can you put the sister's name in the chat, please? I am the worst with names, okay? Fina. Alright. Fina had mentioned meeting a new friend recently and had been spending quite a bit of time with her, but the only one who would really know who the friend is would be the old nanny turned chaperone named Gerda, who has been working for the household for quite some time.
Okay. So one thing I'd probably mention is that it seems, sorry, good. Like as someone who's reasonably intimate with the ways that people typically end others, there's more efficient ways than weird mystical curses that lay lay a person out for days. This isn't typical. It's either something personal or something cultish, like they have a ritual meaning or something.
Would you like to study the situation to learn more?
Sure, I could do that. Would that's plus sly, isn't it?
Yep.
Oh, 8.
All right, you get to ask me 2 questions.
Let's see. Like, these questions seem really powerful. Suppose the simplest one would be, what am I missing right now?
Well, listening to what you've been thinking through, this has been happening to a lot of people. So to you, this feels like an experimental steps towards a larger goal.
Yeah, and
Like someone's perfecting the curse before they actually go and use it for the purpose they wanted it.
cool. And I suppose who or what here could be a useful opportunity for me?
Knowing what you do now, you knew that the crone suspected it was a curse, but wasn't for sure that it was. So you could go back and ask the crone about your findings and kind of compare. You're also near the Adepts Guild, who could have some information, but it may not be as useful as the crone.
Okay, what I might want to do is because we're going back to Perrin's house, aren't we?
Yes.
Or estate. Would be to take some like charcoal rubbings of the runes and bring those to the crone.
Okay.
Obviously,
Alright,
that'll
so...
happen in the future, but that's what I intend to do.
Okay. So you guys make your way back to the house. Perrin, what exactly are you looking to do?
I go find the nearest servant. Have you seen the what was her name?
Gerta.
Have you seen Gerta?
And the servant says yes, and goes and finds Gerta for you and brings her back. And when she comes into the room, everyone in the room notices that she looks like she's been crying. She's very worried. She's very upset and very fixated on Fina's condition.
Gerta, it will be okay. For now, we think we might have a possible lead. Was there someone that Fina was seen recently?
Through her sniffles, Gerta seems to think a little bit and says, "Why, she was out quite a bit with that young lady from, where was it? Some some city off to the east.
Do you know how long ago they last saw each other?
Oh, maybe the night before she got sick.
That would fit the timelines of the others.
They were out quite a bit. They met in the market shopping, and they just hit it off quite well.
Do you know anything about who this woman was or where she might be now?
Oh, you know me, young master parent. My ears aren't what. I did my best. I just kept an eye on the girls, made sure that nobody interfered with their doings.
May I ask a question, please?
Mm.
So what did the girl look like? Any particular features that stood out so we could look and see and try to find her?
Well, she wore this strange
Okay.
necklace.
Okay, I gotta deal with this
Around-
cat. I'll be right back.
Yep. We'll catch you up.
Pause or continue until.
Let's pause so I can pull up my notes.
Okay, now I hear the cat.
Cat decided to come in here.
No, he can't. He came too cute.
Your strange necklace?
Hold on. Still, my computer's way slow on me right now.
Okay. So this is a good just pause moment while we catch back up.
Yep. All right, so let me get back into my old lady voice. She was a young girl, maybe a few years older than Fina. She wore this beautiful but strange necklace. It looked like it was made of amethyst, but it had an odd carving in the middle. And oh, she had black hair, and I think I can remember Othena.
You cut out there after black hair and before the name.
Her name was Athena?
Othena.
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 That,
This, thank you very much.
Correct, Bubba. Correct.
thank you, Gerta. Alright.
It is possible that the curse, if this is a curse.
In Cass? She's still right there and freaking.
Oh, geez.
Her eyes are wide. What's going on? She looks like she's about to faint.
No,
You
Gerta, it's okay. We're on our way to finding a cure. She's going to be well soon.
Well, if it's a curse, it might be the crown in the skies. Oh, the crown.
My character just looks down at his hand like, oh dear lord, not another one.
What? You know very well, boy, about the witch that lives in the lower circles.
Yes, but I'm not of the persuasions that her powers are beyond understanding. I feel that they might be unknown one day to all the people.
Either way, she's a witch. Avoid her. And she stalks off, more freaked out than she was. She's like muttering shit and like making.
I give a stare. I give a stare at Johan. Please, do not rattle my family's staff.
I am sorry. Sometimes I cannot control my mouth. I mean, how many times have you been outside the walls? Once? Twice? I have been out more times than you can count. I have seen things that will make your head spin.
I just start marching out the front door.
So where are you going? I'm yelling at you. And I go after him.
Alright, so where are you guys going? Because I need to.
I think
So-
the best place we can go could be the market. It's maybe it's the only lead we have.
There's
Maybe someone else saw her, or saw where she came from, or went after meeting your sister.
It is likely that someone else saw her and could describe her, maybe even indicate where she was staying in the city. If she wasn't from here, then she had to have stayed at one of the inns.
Yes. And as you go further down the ladder, the more inns you get. So there are many back to there.
Are you
Dream, you wanted to go see the crone, correct?
Yeah, basically, I want to take rubbings of the runes on the door, and also try and sort of make us get a copy of the mark on her neck as I can,
Okay.
and basically bring those to show the crone.
All right. So I'm gonna cut away to Dream
Yeah,
for a bit
that's fair.
because you guys have had a little bit of time. So I'm just trying to balance out everyone's kind of on-screen
I'm gonna
time.
leave and go get some more food, BRB.
Yeah, that's fine.
Enjoy your food. So Dream, as you make your way into lower circles of the city, you start to wade through the nastier areas of poverty. Literal dog shit is in piles in places. It's nasty, it's gross, not a fun place to be. The smell of the sea gets stronger, and for some reason that just makes everything worse. You got like rot and decay and wet all at the same time. And you make your way into the shanty town where the crone lives, and as you kind of work your way through, you get to her shack. You notice as you approach the shack, much like you noticed the first time that she hired you, that in general, people avoid the shit out of it. Most shacks are really pressed up against each other and have multiple families in them to kind of add warmth, but she's got a small open yard around her in almost like a cubic block where people just avoid going.
Okay.
So you make your way to the door.
I do. I shall knock upon the door.
The door, you hear a "come in," and the door opens on its own.
I shall enter.
Mm-hmm.
So, thank you for seeing me.
And as you enter, you do notice that there are herbal elements all over the walls. Like, it looks like the general, like, German idea of, like, a childhood witch. She's got a cauldron in the middle. There's all kinds of alchemy substances. There's tomes stacked in one area of the floor that just look really old and weathered. And there's another tome that she's got open in her claw-like hand. And this brings you to the crone herself. The crone is definitely an old woman, and for some reason, she's like the little old lady from hell. Her face is skeletal. She has this long beak-like nose that comes out. She is very pale but stretched skin kind of hanging off of her body in places. Nothing's really falling off or decaying. She's just really fucking creepy looking. There's very little muscle tone to her, and her robes, because she's not really wearing a dress, she's wearing a set of robes, are very long and tattered at the ends. Her eyes are slightly jaundiced, and one of them has a massive cataract over the pupil, so you can only really see one black beady eye on one side, not even looking at you, but she knows you're there, and you get this very strong feeling that this is not a woman you want to fuck with.
Yep.
She says, "I knew you were coming. What do you want?"
So I'll basically I'll place down the like the drawings or the rubbings and such of the various runes. I've been investigating this plague for you. One of the more recent victims.
Yes. The adept's child, and she snaps the book shut. And you're just like, okay. She turns
Indeed.
around and holds up her hand to stop you from speaking and looks down at the runes and starts to study them. Interesting. Novice work, if I've ever seen it. Someone new to the craft. And then she looks at you and is like, okay, what do you want to say? Like, what do you want?
Yep. Apparently we have a name, Athena. She, does that ring any bells for you?
Not from around here. Most of my clients either very poor or very rich and have been here a while. It's how I know who I know, dear boy. What else can you tell me about this Athena?
Apparently she's quite young, wears a rather fancy necklace, dresses somewhat like a noblewoman.
I would like her necklace as a trophy when you're done with her. Either way, I know nothing about women.
Oh. Would you have any advice on how to defend oneself against these sort of hexes, curses?
Ah, shit, I gotta roll. Hold up. There we go. There she is. Well, I do believe that this person would normally have an item of their victim, though with the widespread amounts in the lower circles, it would have to be something kind, maybe a strand of hair. If you burn the hair, or whatever it is that's tying this person to the curse, you should be able to break it. But, other than that, there's not much else to do. You can kill the witch. Or perhaps there's a requirement the cursed individual must meet. Because that is all I can think of.
I see. So, killing the witch might break the curse. Burning whatever fetish she has of the victim might also break the curse, or
It
there
would
might
be
just
more
be some
likely that way, yes.
Okay, well, I'm sure, well, either could be arranged. And I'm sure I can arrange bringing you the necklace.
Please do, dearie. I do like trophies.
Very well. Well, hopefully next time I meet you, it'll be with news that this has been ended.
Or as a corpse. Either way, I get my due. And she just goes back to her book, like she doesn't give a fuck.
Yep, and I will leave.
All right, skip into the market. Who's doing what?
Well, I
Well,
think the first thing we need to do, Perrin, is... I don't actually have soul.
Keep in mind, you guys know nothing about the conversation that just happened with the crone.
yeah.
So I don't know, look for her? See if someone has seen her? I mean, it's a market.
Immediately I'm
People
gonna
come, they go.
I'm immediately gonna study the situation, see if I can spot anyone who's likely to or even multiple people who are likely to have been good witnesses.
There's actually a specific move for this called market move. When you go into a market looking for a particular thing, roll plus Wily. On a 10 plus, it's right there for you at a reasonable price or objectives.
Well, that's usually for an item, but
it's usually for an item, but because you are looking specifically in a market, in a market for a specific person, I will allow this.
okay, well, that'll knock off my Wily highlight stat then. Okay, unfortunately.
I'll let him go, then I'll try.
Okay, and you may just be asking her.
Yeah, not 4.
4. Yeah, you don't really find much. The merchants you asked to kind of just shake their heads, like whatever. We're not sure.
All right, let me try to roll and see what I can do.
Mhm.
Here's hoping. I got a 4.
Wow.
You have a very similar situation. You're just having some problems. And as you two meet up, you kind of talk. Bust. At this point, I will say that
We took a while looking around.
yeah, you took a while and long enough for Lothran and spot the two of you.
Okay, so I failed. Do I still get the Wily try?
Yeah, it's you get the
You
get the
still
point.
get the Wily try if you fail. It's just, did you use it?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
All right, so Dream, what would you like to do?
I will approach the pair of them and basically meet up. And so, have you had any luck on your end?
9.
No,
Yeah,
we
trying to find.
thought that maybe there would have been some witnesses to the two of them meeting somewhere here, but we're not quite sure who to talk to. There's so many. What about you, Lothran? Where did you run off to?
Just chip follow the lead. Didn't get much, but we'll see. What do you think? With regards to this, can I study the situation in the market, see if I can get maybe
A better idea of where to
information
look?
on? Yeah.
Yeah, sure, go on ahead.
Well, my rolling's on point. I get a 9.
Okay, so I believe you're gonna ask me 2 questions.
Okay. Do. So basically, where, I'll just, would I sort of imagine someone interested in sort of the similar like hedge magic sort of thing that the
That the
what
crone would
that the
practice?
crone would practice would be sort of purchase, like, would it be like herbalists or like in the market? If there's any.
It may be a herbalist. It may also be a graveyard, freakishly enough. There's a lot of components you can find there. Places of magical power or items of magical power are also something to look at. So maybe an enchanter or something like that.
Okay. Actually, there is a question like, who or where is my enemy really? That's
You wanna
that might
ask that
be a
one?
good one. Yeah, that might be a good one to ask.
As you look up, you spot a woman matching her description literally right across the square.
Oh, well, there you go. I didn't quite get off to the graveyard.
Oh, how do we miss her?
I was like, right there.
Oh,
And
glad
as
I
you
didn't
were
drag us off to
watching
the
her-
graveyard. Or it's like, we must find the enchanter.
Yeah, there you go. And as you look at her, you notice that she has noticed the other two asking around. And you see her dart into an alleyway.
I'm going to try and follow. I'm going to try and basically follow her quickly and quietly.
Okay. Do you have a specific move for that by any chance?
I do, like a shadow in the darkness.
Okay, roll for that, please.
This would be a bad one to screw up, so let's not have that happen. Ew, what's that? It's steady, right? Phew, 7.
7. You just barely get there.
Yeah.
You can. I'm gonna say you can go on ahead and follow her. but the other two aren't going to be too great at being stealthy behind you.
Wow.
They're pretty damn noticeable.
I mean,
Well,
did we even know if he's here with us?
well, yeah,
Is
we
it-
knew he was here, but I'm gonna go off. He did just go off sneaking, so I'm just like he suddenly lost him in the crowd. Like what?
Okay, all right.
So I'd probably imagine the one that's most reasonable. Those looking for you are distracted by something else, so that's equally pressing. So she's maybe focusing on trying to get away from those two, and I can kind of take advantage of that.
Okay. So as you follow her, she in and out of the alleys in a way that suggests she knows this area of town. And you continue to follow her as she goes, and she gets to the gates to the lower areas of the city. Before she steps out into the open to get there, though, she removes her necklace, and you see her entire appearance shift. She's no longer this beautiful black-haired woman. Now she's this very plain-looking, middle-aged woman. She's got mousy brown hair. She's not beautiful. She's not ugly. She's just average. Not the kind of person that's very noticeable. Her fine clothes have turned into somewhat ragged objects, and she looks like a beggar more than anything else. Do you continue following?
I will.
All right. In order to, she starts to interact with other people. In order for what those interactions are like, I would like you to assess the situation.
Okay. That's only a 6.
Yeah, that's a fail. You see her talking, and people seem to recognize, but you're not sure what they're saying or what they're talking about.
Okay.
As you continue to follow her, she doesn't veer towards the shanty town where the crone resides. In fact, she heads kind of in the opposite direction towards one of the other poor areas of town. And here it's just a bunch of makeshift lean-tos made in alleyways where the poor and the homeless sleep.
Okay. So I think I kind of need to, from what I was told, I kind of need to find out where she's sort of her lair is. So I'm going to keep following her for now.
All right, I'd like you to assess the situation one more time.
Okay.
Actually, no, let's make this a person instead of a situation.
Can I actually take this moment that our friend Lothran has disappeared for a while and we don't know what happened? Can I go ahead and take out my magical object and do a remote study situation?
Okay, roll for it. Right after I get this roll from
okay.
Yeah.
I got an 8.
An 8. Okay. What are your questions?
What is her current plan?
You can tell that where she's heading for a place of safety, one where she feels like no one is going to follow her to. And your next question?
So I'm just trying to think what the other one would be. What are you leaving out? Question mark? That's,
Okay.
something-
What is she leaving out would be the question.
Yeah, sorry, leaving out. Yeah.
I'm going to put this to you being an assassin moving around in shadows and places, because that's kind of what makes sense here. You recognize this woman as someone who used to be somewhat important. You remember taking a job at some point and sneaking into a party at a manor to go and take down a target, and she was one of the servants there. It is not Perrin's family home that you were. It was Hierarch Macian's that she was a
Okay.
servant in.
Okay.
As you follow her, you do follow her to a place where she looks like she's comfortable, and she ducks down in another alleyway, and you wait a moment to follow, and you follow in behind. I can't believe I'm using follow so many freaking times. In my run-on sentence.
Following that.
Yeah. You manage to make your way through the alley to where she would have been. It's kind of hard to do because you're ducking around sleeping homeless people who may or may not have the plague. It's hard to tell with all the dirt, man. And you go around a corner in the alleyway, and there's a very small makeshift shack back there. You manage to see her duck in and close the door, and you hear a latch as the door closes, along with several bolts sliding into place.
Can I
Ooh.
take this particular chance to use the my magical object then to
Yes, you may.
Okay, so
What would you like to do with it to start?
I'm doing a remote study a situation for a scene I'm not currently in.
Mm-hmm.
And the horrible possible effect is I have to roll a steady to not be noticed by something horrible.
Yep.
I'm gonna go ahead and roll the steady first.
Actually, I just want you to roll the success or fail, because that's whether or not you can activate your object.
Oh yeah, okay. Wait, activate the object?
Basically, are you funneling your magic correctly into the magical object?
That's not really the way it works. I could just use the
Sorry, I was thinking of it.
I could just do the magical effect, but I have the cost to doing it, and the cost I went with is it attracts the attention of something horrible. Roll steady to not be noticed.
Okay.
So I'll roll the steady first, and that is a 7.
Okay, so you pass, but barely. As you start focusing in on your object, you feel elemental darkness, not akin to what you're used to rolling around, and you almost brush into it, but then you snap away just a bit. You do get the feeling, though, that if you try doing this again and mess up sometime soon, you're really going to be in trouble.
I will describe that my magical object is like a little pocket mirror, you know, the latch and all that. Anyways, and study situation. That's gonna be good. I know that. What was study situation? It is sly, so 9.
Okay. You somehow get a bird's eye view of. Are you familiar with the view that comes out of a fisheye lens? That kind of warped bubble look?
Yeah.
It's like that, but it's focused on your friend as he walks through. And as Lothram kind of walks through, you kind of get the same visual. You do happen to see the transformation. You do see her sneaking into that back alley where she's going to hide for a little while. You do not, however, have the same recollection as Lothram whenever going through this, just because it's a situational difference.
Do I get my 2 questions then for the remote study situation?
Yes, you do.
Do I know the area he's in?
Since you followed him to that area, I'd say you don't go there very often, if at all. But you know where the area is.
All right, and what's my second question? Is there any danger that I could see that Lothran might be unaware of?
No, actually, not really. Lothran is pretty good at sneaking around unseen, and there's not really a threat to him as of yet.
All right. I go ahead and clasp the mirror shut and put it in my robes. Johann, I think I know where our friend has gone. Looks like he might have found our missing, our fair lady.
Where this is lead? Shall we find him?
Yes.
Or do a little device not show you where he is, just what he is seeing?
I was able to get figure out where he is. So follow me. Hopefully we can get to him before anything happens.
Very well. So I suspect he'd be able to deal with most things that could try to harm him.
Indeed, but we do not know what we're dealing with. Plus, if there is a cure we're looking for or anything of that sort, I would rather be there to make use of it as soon as possible.
True, very true. So lay down, my friend. Hopefully we shall find him before he sets a fire to something.
And we begin making our way.
All right, Lothram, you are currently standing outside of a now locked shack. What would you like to do?
Probably let's sort of do sort of like have a look around, look for any sort of points of entry that I might be able to find. Would this be a study situation thing?
No, that would be fairly easy for you.
Okay.
Really. This really is. It's backed up against the alley wall. The only real entry would be in through the front door. And you see that the shack is actually really well made for being a shack. It's no fortress, but it would be a bitch and a half to get into.
Okay. So would it try and like maybe pick the door, like, you know, to sort of, you know, finagle the locks, bolts, etc. Would that be a face stress thing?
Yeah, sure.
Because I'm not sure what other one it would be.
Yeah, there's not a lot of basic skills like in some of the other games here.
Yeah.
You could
But
also maybe try what's mine is mine and do that kind of roll. Yeah, I'd go with what's mine is mine because you're kind of in a bad people could see you trying to break in.
I don't have that skill.
You don't? Okay, so yeah, that would be
No.
a face duress.
Yeah. So, but I think, am I reading it right? Like, basically, I roll my dice, and then we basically see what we kind of discuss what could happen or whatever, or I can just basically just go, actually, no, let's not do that. Because it's like then decide if you want to go through what's been offered or back off. So if it goes horribly, horribly wrong, okay. So
Yeah, you're not like you just run straight into an obvious danger.
Okay. Oh, wait, actually, none of these are gonna be great. So, yeah, no, let's. I found my way to the place. Then again, I'm a patient sort. So what I'll probably do is I'll find somewhere reasonably quiet where I can get a view in the door and wait and see if she leaves.
Okay.
And actually, I'm just realizing, in character-wise, I think I would want to go there as soon as possible. So, after a little ways of traveling, I duck into a kind of more abandoned alley and drag Johann in there, and it's like, we can get there faster this way. And I'm going to tear reality.
You're going to what?
It creates a magical portal to move a person or object through. Oh, it's a person. So do I have to roll that twice?
Yeah.
You would have to send me first, because I can't get there on my own.
Yeah.
You haven't told me where this is yet.
Yeah, and really, you'd probably be the better person to send first anyways. Alright.
Oh, this is gonna end in a roll, I'm sure.
Well, luckily the effects aren't absolutely terrible.
If moving a person, including yourself, on a 10 plus, you get all 3 below. 7 to 9, you pick 2, and on a mess, shit's gonna happen.
Alright. Okay, let's see. What was it? It's plus... Was it plus arcane or...
It is plus steady.
Steady.
And you're rolling for Johan first, correct?
Yep. 3.
Oh, shit.
Okay.
Ow.
Wait.
Portal doesn't open.
Okay, portal isn't open.
Oh, my God.
Okay, we can try this. We have no time to keep trying this. Let's keep moving.
Well, at least it didn't open part way and I get my arm cut off. That's what has been bad.
All right, so because of your portal fail, it takes you an extra 10-15 minutes to get there than usual. So it takes about 45 minutes to an hour to get to that part of town. You do seem to attract attention, Perrin. Not Perrin. Did I say, wait, what? Brain? Yes, Perrin. Okay. My brain's not working. So you do seem to attract attention because you're dressed better, as in you have clothes that aren't rags. You look like a rich kid.
Can I start acting like Johan is leading me somewhere?
You can try. I would say roll direct.
Okay.
That's another plus steady.
Yep. That is gonna be a 2.
Yeah, no, your acting just fails and attracts more attention. Which die? Oh, you are so lucky. No one picks your pocket on the way there. All right. So you make it to where Lothram is, and just based off of your vision, and Lothram, this kind of surprises you. Like, they're gonna follow me, right? But here they are, and you may all continue.
Well, we meet again, my fine assassin friends.
Have you
What news have you found for us?
been sitting there this whole time? I managed to track you down with my magics, but this is where I last saw you, and that was like that was nearly 2 hours back.
She's in there.
In the shack?
Yep.
So you know what this building is? It is resting on. Maybe there is hole she goes through. Into building?
Maybe.
Yeah. Well, they either need to get into the building or the shack. Whichever comes first.
Did you did you try to go in yet?
Nope.
All right. Well, there's 3 of us here now, so I don't expect to have too much trouble in dealing with this one woman. I suggest we for now go there and try to get inside the shack.
But the question is how? There is no lock. There is no keyhole. Everything seems to be on the other side.
Lothran,
Oh, there's a door.
Yes, there is a door.
Yeah. No, I could get in. I chose not to go into the strange witch's secret sanctum.
Hmm.
Seems more sensible to wait see if she came back out.
Well, we can't wait forever, I'm afraid.
Yes.
A few
Time
hours
is
isn't forever.
fleeting.
It's already been nearly 2. What about what time of day is it by now?
Well, you started off very early morning, just after dawn. I'd say it's mid-afternoon at this point. Actually, no, late afternoon. So it's starting to get into the evening.
I'm willing to wait another hour, and then we go in. Is this okay? Is this fine with you, Lothran?
Oh, do what you will. As I chose my course of action, you can choose yours.
And what is your choice of? And what is your plan?
My plan was to wait a few hours, see if she came out.
And if she doesn't,
Then I would decide.
I have an idea.
and that is.
I shall kick the door down.
Do you go to do this?
No, not yet. This is the idea when I'm like, I could do that, but I could try something else first. Alright, first I want to study the situation.
Roll for it.
Okay. That would be Sly, so +2. I got a 10!
Ask your questions.
Alright. Does there appear on the outside to be hinges of the door?
Yes.
Okay, that could be the easiest way in.
You
All right,
still
so-
have 2 questions.
Okay. Does there appear to be any kind of arcane aura around the door?
I would not count that as part of assassination.
Yeah, that sounds more magical.
Yeah.
Okay.
Your character would, if you were an adept or the beloved, maybe, or maybe a hex, but you're none of those. So,
Okay, I was trying to think of obvious things. Okay. Does there appear to be light coming from inside the shack?
yes, but if anything, it's maybe a 1 flickering candle. It's not a very big shack. And this is obviously in a poorer part of town.
Okay. So I've used all 3 of my questions.
Okay, I am going to whisper into the unspeakable power to seek guidance on this situation. I'm looking for guidance on the best way to enter this place and our possible dangers.
When did you get Whisper into the unspeakable power?
Everyone has that.
Oh, everyone has it. Okay, yeah. Duh. Thank you.
Yeah, it is a general move.
It is, but there's a few classes that take it a little further.
Yeah, that. Harness is a physical is a minor physical change happens in the world.
Yeah, and then the hex has something similar but very different. So, all right, make your roll.
10.
Seriously? Okay.
Oh, we're getting good on the rolls now.
Let me see.
7's the average roll. He currently has a +3 to arcane, so
Yeah.
it's not.
Yeah. Okay. So, you hear a faint voice that whispers inside, and a gust of wind kind of pushes you towards the shack.
Basically, get the fuck in there.
Like, go, man, hurry up.
Well, I might have a solution. Lothran,
Mm-hmm.
what is the smallest tool you have?
You have lockpicks, you have the usual thieves' accoutrement.
Yeah. What did you ask? The strongest tool?
I said smallest.
Smallest. Probably one of my lockpicks.
The hinges are on the outside of the door facing us. We might be able to knock out the pin and go around the locks. By using the locks as hinges on the inside and pull the door open on the hinge side. Okay, I'm basically asking you to knock out the pins on the door.
Yeah,
so
we
can pull
understood
it
that.
Out.
Like, it's a door. I don't understand what like, this isn't. The problem was never the fact that there's a locked door. So,
It was just you guys waiting.
yeah. Anyway, all right. I'm gonna just try and basically.
Yeah, I just start walking towards the door, Lothran. We can go in now.
All right, face
Yeah.
the rest.
Okay.
Oh, you want me to
What
face-
are you trying to do? Are you trying to slide the bolts or pull the pins?
I'm gonna try and slide the bolts.
Okay.
To get a 9.
Okay, so you do, but your best lockpick breaks. You can choose to do that, or you can choose.
So,
And if your best lockpick breaks, you will get a session only -1 to slide.
Sure. Okay, yeah, let's go with that.
All right. So you switch 2 bolts, and then the third gets a little stuck, and you wiggle it a little bit, and you feel it start to slide, so you kind of go to force it, and the lockpick snaps in half. Take -1 to slide, but the door is unlocked and is easily opened.
Okay. Do I get a sense I made a lot of noise when doing that? Or
Yep.
Okay.
Door is
Then
still closed. Up to you.
yeah, so I will. No, it's fine. I'm going to step back and indicate the door is now open.
I indicate to Johan the door is now open.
So if I have eyes a bit. Fine, very well. I open the door. And
Alright.
I slowly move into the shack.
Okay.
I do have my knife out though.
You move in, and instead of the woman that was described to you, you see Fina.
Comme quoi?
Huh?
Yeah. You see Fina sitting at the table.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna do a roll on this one. I'm gonna do study a person. This would immediately percolate my character's not pistachios. Something's
Make a roll.
fuck
And
3.
she's not looking at you, she's just chilling. It looks like Fina. You don't know her very well. This looks like Fina. That's Fina.
And can I look in there and see that?
Yes, you can.
Okay, in a minor rage, can I harness the unspeakable power to break illusions?
Yes, you may.
Ah, the roll was a 12, so
Uber ability.
that's without the arcane added.
So you
As
maxed
you
it.
roll, Jesus fuck. As you roll,
Natural 12.
the woman starts pushing away and getting up to start talking to you, and it looks like your sister, but then you cast. And for a split second before she speaks, her hair switches back to that mousy brown that you saw before, and then it snaps back into the image of Fina.
Bitch! She is a bitch!
How dare you impersonate my sister? Reveal yourself!
She's dead. Oh, yeah. So,
At this point, you hear a voice very much not like your say shit. And the illusion vanishes, and you see this mousy brown haired woman looking at you. And what would you want, good sir?
You know very well why
can
I'm
I
here.
perform an action?
Not a bit. You break into my home. You stumble in upon all of my goods and wares. What would you want?
You were the one there impersonating my sister. For what reason?
I have no need of telling you.
I indicate my friend Johan with his knife.
Ooh. I can do something here. I can do threatening with force.
Yep, exactly.
Roll for it.
Hold on, I have to... Okay, so this will give me my,
Your
doubles.
Yeah, your fierce highlight stat.
Okay, and let me see what I add to my fierce. Okay, I don't add anything.
Oh, you don't have any points in fierce?
No, fierce is not one of the ones I get. I get a 10 though! Woohoo!
Okay. So, your target believes your threat. If they are an NPC, they will either do what you ask for, or if they don't, you may choose to immediately commit the violence you promised them.
So I hold out my knife and say, "Do you have hand over your magical items that allows you to disguise?"
She spits in your face.
Okay, I don't think I'm that close.
She
You're
can.
in a shack.
Okay.
Yeah,
You're in a
This
teeny
is a really
tiny.
tiny shack. I am basically right on top of her.
Think Harry Potter's broom closet bedroom. Like, you're in a small area. You guys are kind of.
Okay, can I punch her now?
You may stab her. Yes.
Actually, I'd rather punch in this case. I don't want to
You held
stab
out
her.
your knife, so.
Yeah, I do have my knife out. So, yep. And goes to stabbing, so it is a +1.
And
Get
with that, with that, oh shit.
Fuck, I missed. I rolled 3.
No, you automatically get to do it because you succeeded on threaten with violence.
Yeah.
Oh, and she refused, so I
And
I
she
stab her.
refused. So you do
So
one
what would
harm.
be the damage?
Yeah, well, if you chose, and you chose to, so you just go for it.
All right. So as you slash her, instead of the normal red color you usually expect from a person, you see this black bubbling liquid come out of the cut, and it splats onto you. You must face duress.
Okay, that is plus steady?
Yes.
Okay, let me see what my...
For him or
okay,
both
I
of
get a
us.
+2 for steady.
For both of you face duress because you're within range of this
Yeah.
liquid.
Fuck, I rolled a 4.
Ooh.
I rolled a 5.
You both fail. And as her blood splashes out against you and she screams out, you feel this acidic soak into your skin, and you both take 2 harm.
Oh, damn.
It is corrosive harm. So
Lothrin,
yes.
get in here! And I turn around. I actually just turn around and run out the front door.
Okay. Who's doing what?
Okay,
Because that was her action. Her action was bleeding on you, quite literally.
That's it, my action. I scream out for Lothrin and I run out the front door.
All right, Johan?
I'm gonna try to heal myself, so that would be roll plus steady.
Do it.
Okay. Fuck, I get a 5. Son of a bitch.
You fail to heal yourself because you're just like, what the fuck? And you're starting to get flashbacks to your time outside of the wall. Lothram, what would you like to do?
So it's a pretty small place, so I'm gonna move over to the doorway and try and nail her with a throwing knife.
All right, roll for it.
That's just fierce.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wait, no, I remember how combat works, like a whole engage in combat. Dice.
Yes, all the combat moves.
Ooh, so that's 9. So on a hit, choose one of the following to inflict 1 harm. So I will attack the figure and inflict 1 harm.
Okay. As you do, I need you to roll a face duress.
Would that still happen if I was using a throwing knife from the door?
Ooh, no, it would not. But Johan, you would roll it.
Wait, what?
Johan didn't move out.
Johan,
Johan didn't
you
move,
didn't move
so
out of the way from the blood spray. So as she gets stabbed, she actually no, wait, because it's staying in there. It's not coming back out.
what?
Yeah, I mean.
Hold on, no, you're good. You're good, but I've got to roll for her. Hold on. Ooh, she fails at what she was trying to do, and she takes, goes straight into her shoulder and stays there, and she's starting to look a little peeved. All right. As she's looking at this, she is going to attempt to harness the unspeakable power. And fails epically. So she tries to cast, but nothing happens. And then her face, she looks a little dazed, like she can't move. She's gonna be stunned for a round. So, next up, Johan, what you doing?
Okay, so I failed to heal myself. I'm injured with 2 harm.
5 possible, yes.
Up to 5 before I have to take a finger off.
Yeah.
Huh. Anything on this one? Alright, can I try to heal myself again?
You can.
Alright, I'm gonna try to heal again.
Roll for it.
8.
All
I heal
right.
1 point, but
Yep.
the area will become infected.
Yep.
So
That's a down the road thing, though, so you don't have to worry about it
that's something
immediately
I can
during
deal with.
combat. Later.
And I'd assume that would also stop the corrosive effect.
Yes, it would.
Okay, so I'm no longer potentially going to burn to death.
Yep.
Alright, that's my turn.
All right, Perrin.
Let's see. There's very few actions I can take here. I, I don't really have any weapons or means to attack at this point, so I'm just gonna try and just try and wipe off as much of this spray as I can off of me.
All right, to do that without injuring yourself, I need you face duress.
Okay.
Because it's this acidic fluid that is on you.
5.
Ooh, so.
You managed to get it off, stopping the corrosive effect, but in the process you would end up taking 1 more.
Okay, I'm doing that because I want to get the stuff off me, and I just kind of crawl away and hide. Well, not really hide, but sit somewhere safe out a fair distance from the cabin.
All right. Alright.
question.
from the shack.
Yes.
I have a leather apron that gives me 1 armor. What would that do?
It means
That
you
would be for things like weapon attacks. This.
Okay, so this is specialty attacks.
Yeah.
Okay, so
It's
it would
really how
bypass
you
the
can
armor.
it's really how you can argue it protecting you, which you can't really argue it protecting you from acid.
acid.
Acidic blood.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we don't really know where it splashes on me. It's not like, I'm getting stabbed with something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
it
you can
just
say,
splashes.
oh, I moved just right and it hit the armor, or etc.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Okay,
Especially
in this
since you were right
situation-
up in her face cutting her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, what's happening to my knife at this point? Anything?
Nope, your knife's fine.
Sweet. Still got my knife.
It's just regular steel. If anything, it might be corroded over time, but it's not going to be as immediate as your skin or anything else.
Okay.
All right, Lothram.
So I have a question. So she's stunned and reasonably defenseless at this point, correct?
Yep.
So I have a skill called Their Eyes Never Open. It's like once per session when you attempt to silently abduct or kill an NPC who's reasonably within your ability to reach. I can roll steady and choose a thing. Would she be a valid target for this right now, or would this not quite count?
I would say because she's been taken over by the Unspeakable Power for a small amount of time, that yes, it could apply.
Okay, then, so do I... So the question I'd ask, do I want to kill her or abduct her?
You were hired to kill her.
That is a very good point. I was hired to kill her. And I do my job. So, basically, the...
Roll plus steady.
Yep, I'll roll a die first. Yikes. Okay, she's at 6 and a 4, so 12. So, yeah. So roll plus 10 plus, choose 2. On a 7-9, choose 1. Well, let's say it goes exactly as planned. And...
You can leave behind a calling card.
Yeah, I think a calling card would probably be appropriate. That's probably like I think what was it in the
Black
black story?
petals.
Yeah, black petals. So like not sure exactly how it would look, but yeah, we'll go with that. And like probably just use a throwing knife because cutting her up close does not seem like a sensible move. We've seen enough of that.
So as you throw, in her dazed state, she's swaying a little bit, and you had aimed for her face, but you didn't expect that blade to go straight into her fucking eye.
Ooh.
The blade pierces, and for a second she stops moving, and then just slumps, and her body falls to the ground like a weird sack of potatoes.
Well, you killed her. That could be good, or that could be horrible.
I suggest you take it up with my contractor.
Well, if breaking the curse required her to be alive, then we are screwed.
Well, I wasn't hired to save Fina. I was hired to deal with the person making people sick. I'll go over. I'll pull out my knives from her body.
As you do, you notice that whatever caused her blood to become acidic, that was keeping it from burning its way out of her body, is no longer there. And you see her body starting to kind of like fizzle and shrink in areas where the acid is starting to work on it.
I'll nab the necklace as deftly as I can.
All right, I'm gonna do roll to rest just to make sure you don't get any random blood on you.
Will do. 7.
Yeah, you're fine. You kind of get in there. You gotta dodge around. The necklace might be just slightly corroded on the metallic side, holding it together.
Cool. So I'll turn to uh,
Perrin and Johan.
Perrin. Basically, I'll say to him, I'll give you. You guys helped out here, so I'll give you some free advice. When I went and talked to the my contact, they basically mentioned that if you find any hair of Fina's here, you might want to burn it. That might break the curse. Killing the witch might have broken the curse, or it might have been something else. They couldn't really tell, but those are your options. So I suggest you give this place a good tossing over, see if you find any sort of trinkets or pieces of people.
Okay.
Thank you, Lothrin. I don't think we would have been able to do this without you here. And okay, so you can tell me if this covers my what is it called? My entanglement or not? But
All right, which one did you have?
the sell arcane powers for a price to someone rich or powerful. So I'm gonna actually just say, Lothrin, for all you've done, you can come to me at a later point, if you require my magical, my powers for any reason.
All right, so because Lothram doesn't necessarily qualify as either or both of those things, I'm gonna say no. Also, you're adding it as repayment, so you're not really using it as a selling item.
That's fine. I was I'm gonna do this either way, but I was seeing if it still fit in that.
Okay. Well, yeah, I appreciate it. I'll just have a. Can I do like a? Well, let's have a quick look around, see if there's anything like a particular sort of that might be a particular value to the crew. I suppose it'd be study a situation.
Well, since you already suggested that,
be.
I think we'd all be studying situation to find hairs and such.
Actually, instead of study situation, we're just gonna roll duress to see if you find what you're looking for, because you're all just kind of searching shack.
Okay.
You're not really assessing like a mood or tone or events going on.
I saw it on the
So
10 for a little bit, but that's a 6.
Total?
Yeah.
All right, yeah, no, you don't find anything.
I got a 9.
The necklace was really all she had on her. You can continue to search, but the day's getting long and the crone will want to see you as soon as possible.
Okay. Then, if my business concluded, I shall leave. So,
Okay.
bid you fellows good day.
Johan, you.
And Johan, are you also searching?
Yes. What do I need to roll?
Duress.
Steady.
Okay, so plus steady. Thank you. Wrong way on the scroll wheel. Okay, plus 2. I get an 8 again.
Okay. There seems to be a small in the corner that's been kept separate from all the filth and everything. It looks cleaned. Fingerprints are on it. It looks like it's been opened and closed quite a bit.
Alright, I go to it and open it.
Okay, you open it and you see a few poppets in there. You don't know which one is Fina's. Fina's, though.
Doesn't matter.
Pulling them out and burning them all should release the spell.
That's all. That will cure everyone else, and it doesn't matter at this point. Burn them all.
So should we just burn down the shack and say?
Keep in mind that if you start a fire, this is a highly wooden area of the city.
So we might need to bring the somewhere safe to burn.
Oh, you said we're pretty close. You said we're pretty close to the water, right?
You are, but you're in the fucking city.
The city is, but we may not be. So
Also, like, I've always
Also,
played out
you're
that
in the poor
basically.
part of town where no one gives a fuck.
Also, it's like the person who told you like, oh, burning thing will be fine was basically the random assassin guy you kind of know or vaguely familiar with, who had some mysterious contact tell him that that was the case. Like, I'm just saying you might want to do a wee bit of your own
Yeah,
poking it
I'll
out
whisper
before
to the.
you
I'll
just
whisper.
kind of go, oh, let's just burn everything. Yeah, that sounds like a great idea.
I'm gonna whisper to the Unspeakable Power to confirm his suggestion.
Roll for it.
Yay! That's a natural 11.
Okay, yeah, the unspeakable power is just like burn. Like you just like fire elemental.
All right, so I attempt to find an area where there's least likely for the fire to spread. I mean, it's a small tin basically, right?
Yeah.
So it's not like this can get wildly out of control as long as we.
And there is a candle in there that's already flickering.
All right, so yeah, take
The floor is also made of dirt.
Oh yeah, then yeah, we can take the
Okay, so we're good.
preparations to burn the tin, the contents of the tin pretty easily.
Okay. So you burn everything, and now what would you like to do?
I I'm gonna attempt to just tear reality to get home as soon as possible. I don't care about well, I don't currently care about Johan. I say my goodbyes well enough, but then I just attempt to tear reality and go home.
Little nudge, Johan, you are hired to do something here.
Oh
and you
yes,
haven't been
I know.
paid.
I'm going to go storm the house at this point.
All right, roll
If-
to tear reality.
If he leaves successfully,
Well, I don't know.
I'm going after him.
Natural 10.
Fuck.
Yeah. So you open the portal, step through, and bam, you're right in front of your home.
Son of a bitch! I go
Johan,
tearing
you go-
after him.
You go flying through town,
All the while yelling
people
badly.
diving out of your way. Doesn't matter who they are, what part of town. Like shit, Johan's on it again, and they're moving as far out of your way as they can.
Johan's at it again.
Okay,
So
okay.
you get to Perrin's house, and Perrin has already gone inside. What would you like to do?
I want to tackle through the door at this point. I am
The
pissed.
door is locked as it is now as it is now in the evening.
Is there a roll I can where I just bust
You
through
can
it?
pound on the door. You can attempt to get down. That is up to you.
I want to try to just bust it down. I am pissed.
Whoa.
Face
My
duress.
character is pissed.
Face duress.
Okay, so that's plus steady. High roll, high roll, high roll. 7.
You can do it, but you're gonna break the little bones in your foot if you do.
Well, I was actually gonna go shoulder first at running speed.
You'll
Just-
dislocate your shoulder if you do.
So you have the choice right now to continue and do it anyways.
You can continue and take one harm, or you can be like, maybe not, and pound on the door instead.
All right. I come to a stop and bash on the door with my hand really hard. Dead.
Gerta actually comes to the door, and she looks like her mood is much better.
Get thy
Yes.
master.
She just kind of, she's like, what? Which
I-
one?
Yeah, I will make note that technically her master would be my father.
Get Perrin. He owes me.
He's in. I'm assuming you went to your sister's room.
Yes.
He's in with Miss Fina. Do you need to do a checkup? I don't understand.
I'm trying to see how to play this. Because my character would be enraged.
Fina is also your patient.
So, okay, I'm like, yes, I wish to see the patient and her brother to deal with some business of which he has hired me and has failed to pay me.
Yes, sir, right away. And she takes you to Phoenix. As you guys have walked in there on your different times respectively, Fina's fever has broken. The bruising is still there, and Perrin, you wouldn't know about the mark. But if you went looking, the mark on her neck would have disappeared, leaving behind a faint scar.
Fina, you're
She's
right.
still unconscious. She's still unconscious
okay.
as fuck, but her fever is broken and she's looking better.
I'm just kind of just talking to her. Fina, you're all right. Don't worry, you'll wake soon.
And then Johan barges in through the door.
Oh, hello! You forgot about me? That is something we need to discuss. Mainly my payment. Use fine loaded freeloader.
Hey,
Fine holes and everything.
your payment will be due. I had to see my sister.
You forgot about me. For all we know, a demon could have come from the woman's corpse and attacked me, and I would have been defenseless.
I start stopping up to yawn. Can we please take this outside if you're going to continue to
Fine! I will do it here and now, like it is needed, because thou has forgotten me in a moment of turmoil.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
I
need you guys to roll competing face duress rolls. Just to see who wins this fucking shit show.
Oh, I got an 8.
I got natural 1.
Johan, you have screamed so loud that the twins have come, and the entire staff is just like sitting back, kind of
I
silently.
also want to say my character is 5'2", so he is short.
Do you see this short, batshit crazy bloodletter screaming at you? The twins are now laughing at you. The staff is laughing at you, and you're thanking God.
I'm assuming Gertrude's nearby.
Gertrude doesn't give a shit. She's just sitting there like, what?
I look up at Gertrude. Gertrude, please get this man his payment.
Yes. What was the agreed sum?
100 gold pieces. Or the equivalent of 1 barter. I don't know what that's going to be.
Barter in this game, yeah. For this, barter is actually really huge. So 5 barter would be kind of a fair thing to go at.
Ooh, sweet.
Yes, of course. And she comes back, and you gain 5 barter for this session.
Woo! I have +6 now, and I'm probably gonna have to refill my stock soon.
Yeah, you gotta replace your shit.
But I have money.
But you have money.
All right. I take the money from Goethe and say, thank you very much. If there is anything else I can do for you, you know where to find me.
Leave.
You're saying leave. The twins are like, no, stay for dinner. We want to see more. They're just enjoying the fucking show. Some of the servants have popcorn. It's.
I'm so glad I did this.
Unfortunately, we're doing this all in Fina's room, aren't we?
Yeah.
So I just take my hat to the back of my head and say, Avida say goodbye. You all are welcome, and I am leaving. And I proceed to walk out the door like a boss.
Okay.
I have won.
Okay.
And I have gotten my second. I have got my second entanglement complete.
Oh my god, that is beautiful.
All right.
I can now see the replay on this and how crazy I am.
That's gonna be so fun to watch. Okay. So.
I look at my twin brothers. Do you have anything to say?
They just laugh. They're like, "You wish," and they walk away. Kind of that scornful, "I don't give a fuck, you pathetic little thing," like old sibling.
You got showed up by a short man.
Okay.
I close the door and I go sit next to Fina's bed and probably fall asleep in that chair.
And with that, we shall end the roleplay session. Oh my god. That was beautiful.
I know how to close it.
Oh shit. Alright, now we get to total up everyone's honor points. So, Perrin has 2 honor points because he's from a rich family. To start with. Everyone else has one honor point to start with, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So, let's see here. Now, you guys have gone through a little bit of stuff here that might change your honor, whether that add to it, subtract it, whatever. So the things that are going to affect your honor are on page 162, really. That's a nice little bullet point list in there. I would say that dream, your character would have gained at least 1 honor point for that 3rd bullet point. It says demonstrate your power, talent, skill to others. You killed that bitch. So I'm gonna say yes.
Cool.
Yeah. Johan, I'm gonna give you 1 because of the way that you just flabbergasted the fucking staff. They're gonna be talking about you in Maid's Gossip, so I'm gonna give you 1 there.
So I'm at 3 now.
Yeah. No, you should be at 2.
Yeah, you're at 2.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I start with 1.
Yeah, you start with 1.
Yeah.
That's what
And
she
you're
was
only
stating.
getting 1 more point.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Lothram got the other +1.
Yes, Lothram got the other +1. Okay, Perrin, you kind of failed on just the right roll.
You screwed me over.
You failed on just the right rolls, so you don't gain any this session.
But I don't lose any?
You don't lose any. You don't gain any. You stand at 2.
Did I gain some and lose some equally or something because of all that?
Well, oh wait, no. You do lose 1 because you were publicly humiliated.
Yeah.
And you went back on your word. Kinda, sorta.
No,
So
I
you
didn't.
lose both.
I didn't go back on my word. I was willing to.
You've been publicly assumed to do
You ran
so.
away.
You ran away. So you're down at 0,
Oh my.
according to our rulebook. So you start with 0 honor next session.
I want to heavily argue that I did not go back on my word. I did not expect him to
Okay.
expect immediate payment, especially without confirming that she's okay first.
But you bamfed out of there like a motherfucker.
Had you not left me, I would have been fine waiting until she was awake before getting payment. But
And then you got
left my ass.
publicly humiliated and yelled at about not giving payment. The one thing that I'm going to say might save you is that your sister is better in part due to your efforts. So let's give you a net honor of 1 for next session.
Okay, I'll accept that.
All right.
Yeah, I'm totally willing to accept the publicly humiliated one.
Yeah.
I'm so glad I did that. Oh, I'm so glad I played my
All right, guys.
Oh.
Oh, Jesus. Fuck.
So let's ask, with regards to entanglement, would taking that necklace count as stealing something valuable or important from someone powerful?
I would say yes, because she was magically powerful.
Cool.
Uh,
And now add that to your resources or gear.
Oh yeah, so you gain. So I checked that you gain an advancement point every time you use your marked skill in a scene. What constitutes a scene? Is that just like each sort of distinct sort of air, like region that we're acting in, or?
Is it per scene? I thought you're talking about the highlighted stat, right?
Yeah, I had a look at it, and it's one per skill per scene.
Hey. I wasn't keeping track of that. That was per session. Hold on, let me double check that.
Actually, I'll be back in 1 minute, sorry.
No, it's just the first time a player rolls it. Oh, in that scene. That scene, you're right. Ah. How many times did I use my arcane?
I only used Fierce once.
I
and Wily
only used Wily once.
All right. Well, for today, we're gonna do first time you guys use it,
Okay,
and starting in the next ones, I'll start announcing when it started. How does that work?
announcing when a new scene begins.
Yeah, I'll start
Okay.
announcing that.
Okay.
So when Dream gets back, we're gonna stay with first time for the session, but next time we'll switch into the actual rules. My bad. Sorry, guys.
That's fine. Hey, it's a new system. We gotta learn it.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's especially when you're emceeing it straight off the bat and you've never played it. So it's.
You're not doing bad. You're doing really good.
I am much more used to number crunching, so this is a very different MC DM role for me.
This game is turning out amazing so far.
I love it.
Yeah.
I honestly do. So
I'm
once
just
Dream
having
gets back,
every
we'll
skill.
do you keep track of which skills you can have and how you can improve them? Just look at your advancement tree, that'll tell you.
Yeah, it's just with mine. I don't get a new bloodletter move. Like I have a select list of them that I can pull from.
Yeah, on the first page. On the first page, you can get a new your class move, and you can also get moves from another class. Which, oh my god, that's scary.
Tier 2, you have to get a certain amount of points in Tier 1 before you can move to it.
Yeah, well, what I'm trying to say is, how do I get a new move as a bloodletter? I only have 4 or 5 moves.
Like I said, well, yeah.
Okay, so as a bloodletter, you start with. You would have started with your healer, and then diagnosis, and then you can add them up as you go, but you get to choose when they pop in. Does that make sense?
So when you advance when you get your next advancement, your level up, you can choose to get another one of your class moves, up to 3 new ones.
Okay, hold on. Let me scroll down so I.
You can see that by looking at the first page of your character sheet, the advancement on the bottom right. There should be in the tier 1 row, in the tier 1 column, you should see get a new bloodletter move. And I believe there's 3 hexagons next to it.
All right. Do you guys still have the full PDF I sent, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, which is what I'm actually looking at. I'm using that.
So to start, you get all the basic peripheral and honor moves, plus healer and 1 additional bloodletter to start. And as you advance, you can choose out of that tree on the front page of your character sheet to add which ones according to the full level you've gone up.
Can you resend that? Because that's not the one I'm looking at.
Yes, I can. It's the big one, the one that's like 300 pages.
We can't talk about the rest of this afterwards, so I'm gonna go ahead and, after we send it to the stream, so I'm gonna go ahead and call this here. Thanks for joining the show, chat, and we'll catch you guys next Friday at 3. Bye.
Bye-bye.